Guys, NFL odds are out, not just for a couple games, not just for week one, but for every single NFL game. Never too early to start betting on the NFL. We are getting closer and closer to the season. It's only May, but it feels like we're getting closer after the schedule was released. So I'm going to take a look at all the odds, all the spreads, the strength of schedule that we use our own proprietary method to calculate using teams' win totals, using their probability to win each game. Pretty much just using the projected wins for all of their opponents. And I'm going to look at some of the future bets you should be looking at, the win total bets, which ones make sense now that the schedules are out. And then let's take a really, really early look into week one and see which bets I like because these lines will be moving. There's no doubt about it. We are still months away from kickoff, but let's get ahead of the lines. I'm Zach Reger with SPD, and it feels so good to be talking about the NFL again. So, without further ado, let's get into some of these win total bets, some of these futures that I really like based off this schedule release. I'm going to start off with the New England Patriots. Their win total right now is over under 8.5. The New England Patriots in the year 2024, last season, they were favored in 0 games. They were not favored in a single game. Now enter Mike Vrabel. You got year two of Drake May, Stephon Diggs, Will Campbell, who will die. He will die for Drake May. They are now favored in 11 games. That's quite the turnaround. And when you look at our strength of schedule rankings, they have the second easiest schedule based off all the projected wins of all their opponents. They open Raiders, Dolphins, Steelers, Panthers. Those are all winnable games. I know the Patriots aren't much, but with Vrabel, those are winnable games. Then you have the Bills. That's tough. Then you go Saints, Titans, Browns. Right after that, they should have a winning record. After, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? After 8 games, they should be 5-3, 6-2. Probably not. Might be getting ahead of myself, but very easy schedule, very manageable schedule, I should say. And then they also play the Falcons, they play the Giants, of course, they play the Jets twice. So I really like Patriots over 8.5 wins. They're favored in 11 with these opening look ahead lines, and they have the second easiest schedule. I think they can win 9 games. Some other interesting notes with the schedule release, with all these odds being released. The Bills are favored in all 17 games. They are not an underdog. They are favored in all 17 games. Their shortest spread is -1.5, which happens twice. It happens week one, Sunday Night Football, and then also in week 17 when they play the Eagles. Then let's turn the tide. The Browns are underdogs in every single game except one. The Titans in week 14, where they're 1.5 point favorites. The Saints and Giants are also only favored in one game. For the Saints, it's week 16 versus the Jets. They are -1.5. And for the Giants, it's in week 5 at the Saints. So they are on the road, 1.5 point favorites there. So this Bills over could be worth looking at. The Bills are tied for the fifth easiest schedule. Their over-under is 11.5. So favored in all these games. Literally all the games. That's not even just an exaggeration. Favored in every single game. Fifth easiest schedule. They're over at 11.5. Seems pretty good. And then you look at the Browns. Favored in just one game against the Titans. They have the second toughest schedule. Their over-under is 4.5. That's not great for a team that already probably wasn't going to get that many wins. They had their over-under at 4.5. And now they have the second toughest schedule in the league. They start Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, Steelers, Dolphins. They could be like 0-7, 1-6, 1-5. Not a great start for a team with a young quarterback, whoever it ends up being starting, I guess outside of Joe Flacco, not a young quarterback. But I don't think he's going to start forever, especially if they start off very poor. They're going to want to give their young guys, whether it's Shador, whether it's Dylan Gabriel, whether it's Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl champion, whether they want to give some of those guys some reps. So I don't see how they get to 5 wins. Then you have the Giants, once again, favored in just one game. They have the number one toughest schedule. Their over-under is 5.5. They start Commanders, Cowboys, Chiefs, Chargers, Saints, Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, 49ers. They're playing the NFC North. They're playing the AFC West on top of their division, which is pretty good with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders. The Giants under, the Browns under, both pretty good bets now that the schedules have been released. Now let's dive into some head-to-head matchups week 1. There are 4 bets that I'm looking at right now. The first one, we're going to Brazil. And I'm looking at the Chargers +3 against the Chiefs. The loser of the Super Bowl has not been great in week 1 historically. Since 2000, they are 11-14 straight up and 6-19 against the spread. So the Chiefs are in a spot where it's not looking great for them. And now they're playing the Chargers, a team who plays them really well. Mahomes is just 2-5-1 against the spread against Herbert in his career. I like what the Chargers have done this year with Harbaugh heading into year 2. I think this is going to be a close game. I think the spread's right on the money. I think it's going to be a field goal here or there. Kind of some weird circumstances being in Brazil to start the season. I like the underdog here in a divisional game. So give me the Chargers +3 against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Then I'm looking at Dolphins, not +1.5. Now I'm looking at Dolphins +100 money line to go on the road to beat the Colts in week 1. I don't know if you know this. The Colts are 0-9-1 in week 1 since 2015. They have not won a week 1 game in 10 years. And then go back a couple years. They're 2-14-1 straight up and against the spread since 2008. Not ideal. The Dolphins will have Tua back, and well, they do struggle on the road. They will be in a dome in Indianapolis. I mean, the Dolphins have 5 primetime games this year. Obviously, the NFL wants to see something. I think they go into Indianapolis and win outright and start 1-0. Then I'm going to Monday Night Football. I'm looking at the Bears -1.5 at home against the Vikings. It's J.J. McCarthy's first start. And it's not going to be an easy one. Primetime night game in Chicago against a good Bears defense. McCarthy, of course, has weapons to help him out. Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson. But new Bears head coach, Ben Johnson, he knows them very well coming over from Detroit. I like the Bears this year. It's a scary thing to say, but they won in their first start last year against the Tennessee Titans. I think at home they do well, and I think the Bears win and cover against Minnesota in J.J. McCarthy's first start. And then lastly, this one's gross, but hear me out. And sometimes in the NFL, it's the gross ones that cash. Divisional underdogs are extremely profitable, especially in week 1. So I'm looking at the Browns +4.5 against the Bengals. I know I talked about the Browns earlier in this video, and I still don't think their season outlook is very good. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games. But we're getting over a field goal here. We're getting over 4 points, which is nice as well for those 21-17 games. So divisional home underdogs. They're 18-10-2 straight up and 24-6 against the spread. That's 80%. And they know the Bengals well. The Browns still do have a good defense. They got Myles Garrett back. And then you mix in the fact that the Bengals are terrible in week 1, and they're known for slow starts. Just think of last year. They were 8.5-point favorites against the Patriots, and they lost outright. I still think the Bengals win this game, but 4.5 is too many points for me to trust Joe Burrow, who's 1-4 straight up in week 1 in his career. He's also just 3-5 straight up against the Browns in his career. So, it's gross. I don't really want to do it. It's not going to be a pretty watch. It'll be on the small screen when I'm watching all the games in week 1. But I do like the Browns +4.5. So those are the futures and the bets that I'm looking at. Some early insights into this 2025 NFL season. Felt so great to talk about football again. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think of these bets, who you're betting on, who are your favorite win totals. and we are getting closer and closer to football season. It'll be here before you know it.